Good morning. For this early morning first thing, I woke up with a splitting headache, and so a lot of times you can take that a lot of different ways, and possibly stress with me getting back to work and everything. Possibly it's the weather. We've had like a bunch of storms roll in over the night and sinus related, but um, sometimes we take verses and we can kind of fleece God. Now, what do I mean by fleecing God? Well, we have a story of a fella in the Old Testament, the book of Judges, by the name of Gideon. And Gideon does the initial fleecing of the Lord, if you will. And basically, he goes through a process where God tells him what he's going to do, and Gideon goes through and he says that, first of all, I'm going to put a fleece, sheep's fur, basically, on the ground, and the dew falls at night. But if it doesn't fall around on the ground is still going dry and the fleece is wet, I'll do what you asked me to do. Well, God does it, and it's just as he asked. He is able to wring out the fleece, and it fills a bowl of water with the dew. And then Gideon's like, okay, God, I know you did that, but don't be mad at me. Let's try this one more time. So I'm going to lay the fleece out tonight. In the morning, I want the ground all around to be wet, and this time the fleece is to remain dry. Well, God does that. So then Gideon is finally willing to do what God asks him. And a lot of times we do the same thing. We don't respond in faith to what God gives us, what God reveals to us, or we'll take experiences and things that happen to us and use them and twist them to say what we already think about a situation. We'll take a verse I was looking at this morning because I slept, but now with this headache, it makes it feel like I didn't really do much. And so I read verses like Psalm 127, verse 2, and it says, the Lord gives sleep to those he loves. And I'm like, well, I'm not really well rested. So does that mean that the Lord doesn't love me? And I know that's a ridiculous example, but we do these things all the time. We will do these things and take a verse out of context and use it to say what really our little inner voice and our own mind has been saying in self-deprecation about ourselves. And the funny thing is, there's a good play actor who sometimes can say things and make us feel like they're our thoughts, but they're not really, and they're definitely not the thoughts of God. And so just the thing, be careful about continuing to fleece God, as it were, and be mindful that, what God's word says is true. It's not for us to twist and shape to make it say what we want it to say. In fact, if you look at the very first encounter of people interacting over what God said, didn't end too well for the person that tried to make it say what they wanted to. Till next time.